Riot's going to be boosting Senna's AP ratios quite significantly for this patch. Blade of the Ruined King is receiving a solid nerf, while despite holding a 47% win rate in solo queue, Corki is getting nerfed once again due to pro play. We've got all this and so much more to cover in today's video as we bring you guys completely up to speed with every single change that's going to be headed to live servers August 14th for patch 14.16. And are you sick and tired of losing games from bad teammates? Well, at Skill Capped, we turn those frustrating losses into satisfying wins. Take our brand new Season 14 courses that teach you the secrets to winning as a top laner, jungler, mid laner, AD carry, and support. Then pair that with our other new courses on how to counter OP top and mid laners, master your jungle clears, or check out our new Bronze to Diamond series. We even have new Season 14 courses on macro, wave control, trading, settings and hotkeys, CSing, vision, mechanics, low elo mistakes. Oh, and the list goes on. Then head on over to our Smurf commentary section and simply select the champion that you want to master and get guides from challenger experts teaching you how to play your champion in the exact rank that you are stuck in. You're even guaranteed to have all your questions answered by that very same challenger expert. Our service really does work. That's why we offer a rank up guarantee. If you don't rank up while actively using Skill Cap, you get your money back. No questions asked. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description below right now to get the rank that you have always dreamed of. So as always, let's start the video off by taking a look at the item, rune, and miscellaneous changes that the patch has to offer. Black Cleaver is in line for a buff as you'll no longer require a 0.01 second delay between each stack. Now basically what this means is that if multiple different stacks hit an enemy all at once, you'll now gain a stack for all those attacks instead of just one. A really good example of this is for Illaoi's tentacles. If she has multiple tentacles spawned around her, they're gonna all slam the enemy at the same time when she uses W. This meant that in previous patches, let's say 3 tentacles hit the enemy, she would only gain 1 stack of Black Cleaver, but from now, she'll gain 3. Illaoi is definitely the one champ that we think is gonna benefit the most from these Black Cleaver changes, but Riot hopes that Senna and many other on-hit fighters are gonna see more viability with Black Cleaver as well. So we've got a nerf to Dorans Blade on the way, as its health is going to be dropping from 100 to 80 and lifesteal is going down as well from 3.5 to 3%. Blade of the Ruined King is going to receive a couple of nerfs as its AD is dropping from 55 to 50. Attack speed is going down from 30 to 25%, while melee on-hit damage is up from 9 to 10%. So just a flat-out nerf for ranged champs and what should still end up being a net nerf for melee champs as well, just not as bad. Death timers are going to be adjusted for this patch, as from levels 1 to 8, you're now going to take 4 extra seconds to spawn from death. At level 9, it's going to be 2 extra seconds, and then from level 10 onwards, death timers are unchanged. The Homeguard movement speed boost that you receive after coming off of death is now going to last longer moving forward, as the duration is being increased from 5 to 8 seconds. The Homeguard timer is now going to start when you leave Fountain instead of instantly, which means if you're taking a bit longer to find items in the shop, you're no longer going to be punished for a slower walk back to lane. Okay, so let's move on to all the champion changes now, and first up, we've got some buffs to Azir. Nothing too crazy here, as health regen is going up from 3.5 to 5, while base armor is being increased from 22 to 25. Orianna's been in a weaker state for solo queue for a while now, so she's getting a buff. It's a pretty small buff though, as Orianna's Q-AP ratio is going up from 50 to 55%. Syndra has actually been in a decent spot as of recent, so this buff should solidify her as a good solo queue pickup for 14.16. Syndra's R damage per sphere is going up from 90, scaling to 170, to 100, scaling to 180. Riot ended up missing the mark with the 14.15 Sylas adjustments, so they're buffing him up for 14.16. Base health is getting a boost, going from 575 to 600. Passive damage AP ratio is going to be going up from 25 to 30%. W base damage sees a nice uptick as well, being increased by 10 at all ranks. Katarina is going to be getting a nice boost in damage on her Q, as the base damage is going up from 200 to 240 at max rank, while the AP ratio is going up from 35 to 45%. Kat will be losing some damage on her E to compensate though, as it's dropping by 20 at max rank. R on hit effectiveness is also being nerfed from 30 scaling to 40% to 25 scaling to 35%. Blade of the Ruined King is Cat's most popular rush item in solo queue right now, so with the item being nerfed combined with Q AP ratio going up, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with Cat builds for this patch. We've got a buff to Vi's Q damage headed to live servers as it's being increased by 10 damage at all ranks. It wasn't very surprising that the 14.15 Skarner Buffs did absolutely nothing to help increase his solo queue viability, so Riot has more buffs planned for 14.16. Base health is going up from 610 to 630, base AD is being increased from 60 to 63, Q bonus AD ratio is going up as well from 60 to 80%. Wukong hasn't actually been a bad analytical performing up in the top lane as of late. He's just incredibly underplayed right now, so these buffs should look to spike up that play rate just a little bit. Wukong's going to be receiving 2 different buffs as his passive armor per stack is going up by 1. The second buff revolves around E attack speed being increased by 5% at all ranks. The only champion that's being directly nerfed for this patch is Corki. Now, of course, these nerfs are going to be issued because of pro play, as even though Corki has a pretty miserable win rate for solo queue, pro players continue to put high priority on it. Q cooldown has taken a hit, being increased by 1 second at all ranks. The mana cost on Q is also going up by a whole 20 early on, as it's being adjusted from 60 scaling to 80 to just 80 flat. Now, it's not just Corki, but also Lucian, who's been showing up in the mid lane as of late for pro play, so Riot's issuing some changes to nerf mid, but lessen the blow to bot lane. They're doing this by reducing Q damage by 10 at all ranks. Passive total AD ratio is going up, though, from 15 to 20%. So these Qiyana changes are being listed as adjustments by Riot, but unless there's a typo, they're looking like net nerfs to us. Armor's going up from 28 to 31. Q base damage is up early on, but it's nerfed later, and the AD ratio on Q is going up, though. W base damage is being nerfed, going from 8 scaling to 64 to 8 scaling to 40. Our AD ratio takes a massive hit, going from 1.75 to 1.25. And for the final changes of the patch, the champ with the most amount of changes for 14.16 is Senna. Attack speed growth is going down from 4 to 2%. Crit chance per 20 passive stacks is dropping from 10 to 8%. W root duration is going to be increased by 0.25 seconds. Q base heal is going up from 40 scaling to 80 to 40 scaling to 120. Q heal bonus AD ratio is going up from 30 to 40%. Q heal AP ratio is going from 40 to 80%. The lethality ratio on Senna's Q heal is being completely removed. Q slow AD ratio is going up from 10 to 15% per 100 bonus AD. Q slow AP ratio is also up from 6 to 10% per 100 AP. And finally, for the R changes, it's all buffs, as the base shield, AP ratio on the shield, and missed scaling on our shield are all going up.
Okay guys, one last thing. Our rank up guarantee is absolutely insane. It's kind of like signing up for the gym and then just getting a refund if you don't get ripped. That's how confident we are in Skillcapped. We obsess over making the best guides with the top players, the rigorous testing, and top tier video editing to make your climb as easy as possible. If you're ready to level up, just visit skillcapped.com and literally see the difference.
So there you have it, everyone. A complete look at every single change that's going to be hitting live servers on August 14th. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you back soon.